Kang Minho sat in the communication room of the ship called Serenity's Edge. He was good at his job. For 20 years, he had listened to signals from across the galaxy. He knew the difference between normal space chatter and something important. Today, something was very wrong. The signal came from the Kepler system. It was weak and broken, like someone was crying for help from very far away. Minho turned up the volume and listened carefully. What he heard made his blood run cold. Please, anyone who can hear this message, we need help. The Korthak Empire has attacked our world. They are killing our people. Our cities are burning. Our children are crying. We cannot fight them. They are too strong. Please, if anyone receives this signal, help us. We are the people of Veltra. We live on the third planet in the Kepler 442 system. We have never hurt anyone. We only want peace. But they do not care. They take our young ones away. They destroy everything we have built. This message will repeat until our power runs out. Please help us. Minho's hands shook as he recorded the message. The Velthron people were known across the galaxy as peaceful, farmers and artists. They had no weapons. They had no army. They were like gentle sheep, and the Korthaks were like hungry wolves. He ran to find Dr. Park Ji-woo. She was in her lab looking at alien plants under a microscope. When she saw his face, she knew something was very bad. "Doctor, you need to hear this," Minho said. He played the recording. Park Ji-woo listened with wide eyes. When the message finished, she sat down hard in her chair. "Those poor people, the Korthaks are monsters. But why are you showing me this?" "Because of where the signal went," Minho said. He showed her his computer screen. The Velthron distress beacon has an automatic relay system. It sends copies of the message to every nearby system that might have ships to help. Park Ji-woo looked at the list of systems. Most of them were empty space or had no intelligent life. But one name made her face go white. "Earth," she whispered. "The humans got this message 3 hours ago," Minho said. Park Ji-woo stood up so fast her chair fell over. "We need to tell the captain right now." They ran through the halls of the ship. Other crew members saw them running and knew something. Big was happening. Captain Lee Han-woo was on the bridge, looking at star maps. When he saw their faces, he stopped everything. "Captain, we have a big problem," Park Ji-woo said. She explained about the Velthron distress call and where it had been sent. Captain Lee sat down slowly. He had been a ship captain for 30 years. He had seen wars and peace treaties and alien first contacts, but he had never dealt with anything like this. "Are you sure the humans received the message?" he asked. "Yes, sir. Their communication systems are very good. They would have gotten it hours ago," Minho said. The captain called for an emergency meeting. Within minutes, the ship's important officers were in the conference room. The last to arrive was Choi So-min. She was old and wise, and she knew more about alien politics than anyone else on the ship. "Tell them," the captain said. Minho played the recording again. Then Park Ji-woo explained about the automatic relay to Earth. The room became very quiet. "How bad is this?" asked the captain. Choi So-min cleared her throat. She looked very tired. "Captain, you are too young to remember the last time humans were involved in galactic affairs. That was over 200 years ago. There is a reason we made the quarantine treaty with Earth." "Tell us," the captain said. "Humans come from what we call a death world. Most planets that grow intelligent life are gentle places. Warm sunshine, calm weather, friendly animals. Earth is not like that. Earth tried to kill the humans every single day for millions of years." She stood up and walked to the window that showed the stars. "Humans survived ice ages that would kill most species, They survived diseases that should have wiped them out. They survived huge rocks falling from space. They survived their own planet trying to burn them, freeze them, poison them, and eat them. But they are just one small planet, said another officer. One small planet that made them into something we do not understand, Choi So-min said. They domesticated wolves, animals that hunt in packs and kill for food. They turned poison plants into things they drink for fun. They build their cities right where storms and earthquakes happen most. They climb the highest mountains just to see what is up there. They go into the deepest oceans just to explore. The room was very quiet now. When they first joined the galactic community 250 years ago, everyone thought they would be easy to deal with. They looked small and weak compared to most species. The Zarkoth Empire decided to test them. They attacked one human colony ship. What happened? Asked Minho. The humans did not just fight back. They hunted down every single Zarkoth ship in that fleet. Then they tracked the fleet back to the Zarkoth home system. Then they did something no one had ever seen before. They did not destroy the Zarkoth homeworld. They did not kill the Zarkoth people. They took apart every single weapon the Zarkoth had and made them promise never to attack peaceful ships again. That sounds reasonable, said Park Ji-woo. It took them 3 days, Choi So-min said. 3 days to completely defeat an empire that had been conquering other worlds for 1,000 years. The Zarkoth had 1,000,000 ships. The humans had 50. Everyone stared at her. That is when the galactic community decided that humans were too dangerous to be around normal people. We made the quarantine treaty. They agreed to stay in their part of space, and we agreed to leave them alone. It has worked for 200 years. Until today, said Captain Lee. Until today, Choi So-min agreed. Captain, if the humans received that distress call, they will respond. It is what they do. They cannot hear about innocent people being hurt and do nothing. It is not in their nature. Should we try to contact them? Asked Park Ji-woo. No, said the captain. But we should warn the Korthax. You want to help the Korthax? Asked Minho. They are attacking innocent people. I want to prevent a war that could destroy half the galaxy, said the captain. Choi So-min, send a message to the Korthak Empire. Tell them about the humans. Tell them what they are about to face. Choi So-min nodded and began typing. The message was long and detailed. She told the Korthax about Earth's history. She told them about human technology and human tactics. She told them about what happened to the Zarkoth Empire. She told them that they should stop their attack on the Velthran people and leave that system immediately. The message was sent on the fastest communication channel they had. It would reach the Korthak fleet in 6 hours. 8 hours later, they received a reply. Captain Lee read it out loud to the assembled officers. To the fools on the Confederation ship. Your warning about some primitive backwater species is noted and ignored. No race of weaklings from a single small planet could threaten the mighty Korthak Empire. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. Our fleet numbers over 800,000 ships. If these humans wish to face us, let them come. We will add their bones to our trophy collection. War Commander Thexmol sends his contempt for your cowardice. The conference room was silent for a long time. Finally, Captain Lee spoke. Well, we tried to warn them. What do we do now? Asked Minho. Now we wait, said Choi So-min. And we pray that when this is over, there is still a galaxy left to live in. Admiral Kim Tae-hyun was drinking his morning coffee when the emergency alarm sounded. He had been in the Earth Defense Force for 40 years, and he knew the difference between a drill and the real thing. This was real. He ran to the command center under the Pacific Ocean. The building was buried 3 miles underwater, protected by layers of metal and rock. Even if someone dropped a bomb on the ocean above, the command center would survive. "What do we have?" he asked as he entered the main room. Lieutenant Commander Yoon Dae-ho turned from his computer screen. His face was pale. "Sir, we received a distress call from outside our solar system. It came through the old emergency channels." "Someone is asking Earth for help?" Kim asked. This was strange. For 200 years, Earth had been cut off from the rest of the galaxy. Most aliens were afraid of humans. They did not ask humans for help. "Yes, sir. The signal came from the Kepler system. It is about 47 light-years away." Kim sat down at his command chair. "Play it." The recording filled the room. A gentle voice spoke in the universal language that all space-traveling species used. The voice was scared and sad. "Please, anyone who can hear this message, we need help. The Korthak Empire has attacked our world. They are killing our people. Our cities are burning. Our children are crying." Kim listened to the whole message. When it ended, the room was quiet. Everyone was looking at him. "How long ago did we receive this?" Kim asked. 4 hours ago, sir," said Yoon Dae-ho. Kim stood up and walked to the big screen that showed a map of nearby star systems. The Kepler system was marked in red. "What do we know about these Veltran people?" Chief Engineer Song Nari spoke up from her station. "I have been looking them up in our old galactic database. They are a peaceful species. They grow food and make art. They have no weapons and no army. They have never hurt anyone." "And the Korthaks?" "The Korthak Empire is different," said Dr. E. Young Minji, who knew about alien politics. "They are conquerors. They attack weak planets and take everything valuable. They enslave the people who survive. They have been doing this for hundreds of years." Kim nodded. "How far is their fleet from Earth?" "The Kepler system is very far away, sir. Even if they wanted to attack us, it would take them years to get here," said Song Nari. "That is not what I am worried about," Kim said. "I am worried about innocent people dying while we sit here doing nothing." Dr. Young Minji stepped forward. "Sir, I need to remind you about the quarantine treaty. We agreed to stay out of galactic affairs. If we break that treaty, there could be serious consequences." "What kind of consequences?" Kim asked. "Other alien. Governments might see us as a threat. They might try to attack us first before we can attack them." Kim looked at the star map again. "Yoon, how fast can our new ships travel?" Lieutenant Commander Yoon Dae-ho smiled. "The new quantum drive ships are very fast, sir. We could reach the Kepler system in 3 days." 3 days? Dr. Young Minji looked shocked. "That is impossible. It takes normal ships 3 weeks to travel that distance." "Our ships are not normal ships," said Song Nari. "We built them to survive in Earth's solar system. The radiation from our sun, the asteroid fields, the solar storms, we had to make them very strong and very fast." Kim walked back to his command chair. He thought about the treaty. He thought about the consequences. Then he thought about children crying for help while their cities burned. "Get me Captain Han Woo-jin," he said. A few minutes later, Captain Han's face appeared on the main screen. He was on board his ship, the destroyer called Indomitable. Han was young for a ship captain, but he was also one of the best. "Admiral, I have been listening to the emergency channels. Did we really receive a distress call from outside our system?" "Yes. I'm sending you the recording now." Kim sent the file to Han's ship. They all waited while Han listened to it. When the recording ended, Han's face was hard and angry. Sir, those are children crying in the background of that message. Children who are scared and in pain. I know. What are your orders, sir? Kim looked around the command center. Everyone was watching him. Some looked excited. Some looked worried. All of them were waiting for him to decide. How many ships can you have ready to go in 6 hours? Kim asked. For a rescue mission, I can have 200 ships ready. For a war, I can have 500. Make it 500. Dr. Young Minji stepped forward again. Sir, please think about this. If we send a fleet to fight the Kortaks, we will be breaking the treaty. The entire galaxy will know that humans are involved in warfare again. Good, Kim said. Maybe it is time they remembered who we are. But, sir, Doctor, let me ask you something. If you heard children crying for help and you had the power to save them, what would you do? Dr. Jung Minji was quiet for a moment. I would help them. Even if it meant breaking a rule? Yes. Even if it meant other people might not like you. Any more? Yes. Then you understand why we are going. Kim turned to Song Nari. How long will it take to prepare the fleet? 6 hours, sir. We will need to load supplies, check all the ships, and brief the crews. Do it. The command center became very busy. People ran to their stations and started working. Song Nari began calling ship captains and giving them orders. Yoon Daeho started, planning the route to the Kepler system. Dr. Young Minji began writing reports about what might happen when other aliens learned that humans were fighting again. Kim sat in his command chair and watched everyone work. After a while, Han Woo-jin called him. Sir, the fleet is almost ready. Should I record a message to send ahead of us? Kim thought about this. Yes. Send it on all galactic frequencies. Make sure everyone can hear it. What should I say? Tell them we received the distress call. Tell them we are coming to help. That is all. That is enough. 6 hours later, 500 human ships gathered in space near Earth. They were beautiful and deadly. Each ship was built to survive the harsh conditions around Earth's sun. They had thick armor, powerful shields, and weapons that could punch through asteroids. Admiral Kim stood on the bridge of his flagship, a massive ship called Terra's Wrath. It was the biggest and strongest ship humans had ever built. He looked out at his fleet and felt proud. All ships report ready, said his communications officer, Bae Sung-ho. Send the message, Kim said. Bae Sung-ho activated the long-range communication system. Han Woo-jin's voice went out across the galaxy, traveling faster than light to every system where intelligent life existed. This is Captain Han Woo-jin of the Earth Defense Force. We have received a distress call from the Velthron people in the Kepler system. We know they are under attack by the Korthok Empire. We know they are innocent people who have never hurt anyone. We know their children are in danger. To the Velthron people, if you can hear this message, help is coming. To the Korthok Empire, you have made a mistake. To everyone else in the galaxy, this is Admiral Kim Tae-hyun of the Earth Defense Force. We received your distress call. We are coming. The fleet jumped to quantum drive speed and disappeared from Earth's solar system. Behind them, Earth continued to spin peacefully in space, but the galaxy would never be the same again. In the command center under the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Young Minji watched the ships disappear on her screens. She thought about the treaty they had just broken. She thought about the war that was about to begin. She thought about what other alien species would do when they learned that humans were fighting again. But mostly, she thought about children, who were crying for help, and about 500 ships full of humans who could not ignore that cry. She smiled and got back to work. The human fleet dropped out of quantum drive speed at the edge of the Kepler system. The arrival was not quiet. 500 ships appearing at once made a sound like thunder that every sensor in the system could detect. Admiral Kim stood on the bridge of Terra's Wrath and looked at what they faced. His ship's computers counted the enemy vessels. 800,000 Korthak ships surrounded the planet where the Velthron people lived. It was the biggest war fleet Kim had ever seen. "Sir, we are getting messages from the planet," said Communications Officer Bae Sung-ho. "The Velthron people know we are here. They are sending us thanks and crying with joy." "What about the Korthaks?" Kim asked. "They are trying to contact us. The war commander wants to talk." Kim nodded. "Put him on screen." The main screen flickered, and then showed the face of War Commander Thexmol. He was a large alien with gray skin and sharp teeth. His eyes were small and mean. Behind him, Kim could see other Korthak officers on the bridge of their command ship. "So," Thexmol said, "the famous humans finally show themselves. We received a foolish warning about your people. We were told you were dangerous." He laughed, and it sounded like metal scraping against stone. "I see 500 small ships against my fleet of 800,000. Did you come here to surrender?" Kim stepped forward so the alien could see him clearly. "I am Admiral Kim Tae-hyun of the Earth Defense Force. You are attacking innocent people. Stop your attack and leave this system now." Thexmol laughed again. "Or what? You will fight us? We have been conquering worlds for 500 years. We have destroyed species that were older and stronger than you. What can one small planet of primitives do against the might of the Korthak Empire?" "You are about to find out," Kim said calmly. Thexmol's smile disappeared. "You dare threaten me? I will show you what happens to those who oppose the Korthak Empire." The communication ended. On his tactical display, Kim watched as the huge Korthak command ship turned toward Terra's Wrath. Lights began to glow along its sides as it charged its weapons. "All ships, this is Admiral Kim," he said into his communication system. "The Korthaks have chosen to fight. Show them what humans do to those who hurt innocent people." The Korthak command ship fired first. A beam of energy that could destroy. A small moon hit Terra's Wrath directly. The bridge shook a little, but that was all. "Damage report," Kim said. Chief Engineer Song Nari checked her instruments. "No damage, sir. The shields absorbed the energy completely." On the main screen, they could see the Korthak command ship. Kim could imagine the confusion on their bridge. Thexmol had just fired his most powerful weapon at the human flagship, and nothing had happened. "How is that possible?" asked Bae Sung-ho. Song Nari smiled. "We built our shields based on Earth's magnetic field. Every day our planet is hit by radiation from the sun and cosmic storms from deep space. Our shields can handle anything that space throws at us. That alien weapon was nothing compared to a solar flare." "Return fire," Kim said. Terra's Wrath fired one shot from its main gun. The beam crossed space in less than a second and hit the Korthak command ship. The alien vessel's shields flared bright and then went out. The ship was not destroyed, but it was helpless. Around the human fleet, hundreds of thousands of Korthak ships began to move. They formed attack formations that had won them victories on 1,000 worlds. Kim watched them come and felt almost sorry for them. "Captain Han, you may begin your attack," Kim said. Captain Han Woo-jin led the first wave of human fighters. His ships moved through space like sharks through water. They were not built for beauty or comfort. They were built to survive Earth's dangerous solar system, where radiation storms and asteroid fields could destroy any normal ship. The human fighters hit the Korthak formations like a storm. Weapons that had conquered empires could barely scratch. The human shields. Meanwhile, human weapons cut through Korthak defenses like they were made of paper. "Sir, we are receiving surrender signals from over 50 Korthak ships," said Bei Sung-ho. "Accept their surrender and have them move away from the planet," Kim said. "But keep watching them. The battle was not really a battle at all. It was more like a teaching lesson. The Korthak Empire had never faced an enemy like humans. Their ships were designed to fight other normal species from normal planets. They were not designed to fight people who had learned to survive on a world where everything was trying to kill them. Within 1 hour, 200,000 Korthak ships had been destroyed or disabled. The rest began to retreat, but they were not fast enough. Commander Lim Jisoo led Wolfpack Squadron in pursuit of the fleeing ships. "This is Wolf Leader," she said over the radio. "We have multiple targets trying to escape. Permission to hunt. Them down?" "Permission granted," Kim said, "but leave some alive to tell the story." Lim Jisoo's ships chased the fleeing Korthaks across the system. Her vessels were designed after Earth's greatest predators: wolves, sharks, and eagles. They could chase prey for days without stopping. The Korthak ships were fast in short bursts, but they could not run forever. On the planet below, the Velthron, people watched the sky and saw their salvation. Human ships moved through the battle like dancers, graceful and deadly. They destroyed only what they had to and protected what needed protection. Marine Colonel Park Sung-jae led the ground forces that went down to the planet. The Korthaks had built underground bunkers where they kept their prisoners and supplies. Normal armies would have needed weeks to break into these bunkers, but humans had spent thousands of years fighting in caves and tunnels. They knew how to move underground. They knew how to fight in small spaces. They knew how to find enemies who were hiding. "This is Colonel Park," he reported to Admiral Kim. "We have secured the main Korthak base. We found 3,000 Velthron prisoners. They are scared but alive. Medical teams are treating the wounded." "Well done, Colonel. What about the Korthak soldiers?" "Most of them surrendered when they saw us coming. I think they were not expecting humans to be so good at underground fighting." Kim smiled. "Humans have been fighting in tunnels since before we invented writing. The Korthaks picked the wrong species to fight." As the battle continued, something strange happened. Other alien ships began to arrive at the edge of the system. Ships from the Galactic Confederation and from independent planets, and from species that had not been seen in space for years. They all came to watch. The galaxy had heard Captain Han's message. They knew that humans were fighting again for the first time in 200 years. They came to see what would happen. What they saw amazed them. The humans did not fight like conquerors. They fought like protectors. They saved Velthron civilians. They accepted enemy surrenders. They healed the wounded and fed the hungry. But they also showed no mercy to those who continued to fight. Korthak ships that kept attacking were destroyed quickly and efficiently. Those who surrendered were treated well, but watched carefully. By the end of the day, the Korthak fleet was broken. More than half of their ships were destroyed or captured. The rest were fleeing toward their home system, broadcasting stories of the terrible human fleet that had appeared from nowhere. War Commander Thexmol sat on the bridge of his damaged command ship and stared at the human fleet. His grand invasion had become a complete defeat. His mighty empire had been humbled by a species he had never heard of. He opened a communication channel to Admiral Kim. "Human, I request to speak with you." Kim appeared on Thexmol's screen. The human looked calm and confident. Behind him, the bridge of Terra's wrath was busy but quiet. It did not look like the bridge of a ship that had just won a great battle. "What do you want?" Kim asked. "I want to know how this is possible. We had 800,000 ships. You had 500. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. You claim to be from one small planet. How did you defeat us so easily?" Kim was quiet for a moment. When he spoke, his voice was gentle but firm. "War Commander, you made a mistake. You thought that because we come from one planet, we must be weak. But you did not understand what kind of planet Earth is. Tell me, Earth tried to kill us every day for 4 million years. Ice ages, volcanoes, earthquakes, diseases, predators, storms, radiation from space. Everything that could kill a species happened to us. But we survived. Every challenge made us stronger. Every threat taught us something new." Kim gestured to his fleet. "These ships are not built to conquer other people. They are built to survive in our solar system, where the sun could cook us and the asteroids could crush us. Our weapons are not made to destroy planets. They are made to protect our families from anything that wants to hurt them." Thexmol listened and began to understand. "You attacked innocent people," Kim continued. "You hurt children. You destroyed homes. You made mothers cry for their babies. When humans hear about that kind of thing, we do not ignore it. We cannot ignore it. It is not in our nature." "So what happens now?" Thexmol asked. "Now you go home and tell your empire what you learned here. Tell them that the galaxy has protectors now. Tell them that if they want to hurt innocent people, they will have to go through us first." The communication ended. Thexmol looked out at his broken fleet and knew that everything had changed. The Korthak Empire had always been the strongest force in this part of the galaxy, but not anymore. The Korthak Empire made their biggest mistake 3 days after the battle at Kepler. Instead of staying together and fighting as one force, they split their remaining fleet into smaller groups. Each group fled toward a different star system, hoping to escape and regroup later. War Commander Thexmol thought this was smart. He believed that humans, like most species, would be happy with their victory and go home. He was wrong. Admiral Kim stood on the bridge of Terra's wrath and watched the enemy ships scatter in different directions. His tactical officer showed him a map of where each Korthak group was heading. "Sir, should we let them go?" asked Captain Han Woo-jin. Kim shook his head. "These are not defeated soldiers going home. These are the same people who attacked innocent families. If we let them escape, they will attack someone else tomorrow." "What are your orders?" "We hunt them down. All of them." The human fleet split up to follow the fleeing Korthaks. Each group of human ships was much smaller than the enemy forces they chased, but that did not matter. Humans had learned something during their millions of years on Earth that most alien species never learned. They had learned to be persistence. Hunters. Commander Lim Jisoo led Wolfpack Squadron after the largest group of Korthak ships. There were 50,000 enemy vessels heading toward the Rigel system, and she had only 20 ships to chase them with. "Wolf Leader, are you sure about this?" asked her second-in-command, Lieutenant Kim Min-soo. "They outnumber us 2,000 to 1. Lim Jisoo smiled as she watched the enemy ships on her screen. They were running at maximum speed, burning through their fuel reserves to get away as fast as possible. "Lieutenant, have you ever watched a nature documentary about wolves hunting caribou?" "Yes, ma'am." The caribou are bigger than the wolves. They are faster in short bursts. There are more of them. But who always wins? Kim Minsu understood. The wolves, ma'am, because they never stop chasing. Exactly. Korthak ships are built for short, powerful battles. Our ships are built to survive in Earth's solar system for months at a time. We can chase them forever. They cannot run forever. The chase lasted for 2 weeks. The Korthak ships ran from system to system, always trying to stay ahead of the humans. But Wolfpack Squadron never gave up. When the alien ships stopped to refuel, the humans attacked. When the aliens tried to fight, the humans used hit-and-run tactics, destroying a few ships and then backing away. Slowly, the Korthak force got smaller and smaller. Ships broke down from pushing their engines too hard. Some ships ran out of fuel and had to surrender. Others were destroyed in small battles when they tried to make a stand. By the end of 2 weeks, only 5,000 Korthak ships were left out of the original 50,000. They were tired, scared, and running out of supplies. When they finally surrendered, some of the alien soldiers were crying. Meanwhile, on the planet Kepler 442b, Marine Colonel Park Sung-jae was leading the cleanup operations. The Korthaks had built a network of underground tunnels and bunkers where they kept their prisoners and stored their supplies. "Colonel, we found another prison complex," reported Sergeant Moon Jamin over the radio. "There are about 200 Velthran civilians down here. Some of them are hurt pretty bad. We are sending medical teams down to you," Park Sung-jae replied. He turned to medic Kwan Hyori, who was in charge of treating the rescued prisoners. "How are our supplies holding up?" "We have enough medicine and food for everyone," Kwan Hyori said. "But sir, some of these people have been prisoners for months. They are not just hurt in their bodies. They are hurt in their hearts and minds." Park Sung-jae nodded. He had seen this before in human wars. When people were prisoners for a long time, they sometimes forgot how to feel safe again. What do they need? Time, sir. And kindness. And the knowledge that they are really safe now. The human soldiers worked hard to help the Velthran people feel safe again. They brought food and medicine. They helped families find each other. They listened when the freed prisoners wanted to talk about what had happened to them. Some of the Velthran people were amazed by how gently the human soldiers treated them. They had heard stories that humans were violent and dangerous, but these humans were kind and patient. One young Velthran named Sila asked Sergeant Moon Jamin about this. "The Korthaks told us that humans were monsters who loved to fight and kill. But you are not like that." Moon Jamin sat down next to her. "We do love to fight, Sila, but only when we are protecting people who cannot protect themselves. Fighting to hurt innocent people is evil. Fighting to save innocent people is good. But you are so good at fighting. How did you learn?" "We learned because we had to. On our planet, everything was trying to kill us. Big animals with sharp teeth, diseases that could kill whole cities, storms that could destroy everything we built. We learned to fight because if we did not fight, we would all die." Sila thought about this. "So you became warriors to protect yourselves?" "We became warriors to protect everyone we cared about, our families, our friends, our neighbors. And now we protect people like you too." In space above the planet, Captain Seo Jinwoo was hunting different prey. His ship, Silent Hunter, was following a small group of Korthak command vessels that were trying to sneak away without being noticed. Silent Hunter was a special ship. It was built to be invisible to most sensors, like the creatures on Earth that hunted in perfect silence. Seo Jinwoo and his crew were experts at tracking enemies who did not want to be found. "Captain, the Korthak ships are trying to send a message to their home system," reported his communications officer. "What kind of message?" "They are calling for reinforcements. They want their home fleet to come and attack the human ships." Seo Jinwoo smiled. "Block their transmission." "Then send them a message from us." "What should I tell them, sir?" "Tell them that they can try to call for help, but we will be listening to every word they say. Tell them that if their reinforcements come here, we will be waiting for them too." The message was sent. A few minutes later, the Korthak ships changed course and headed away from the system as fast as they could go. They did not try to send any more messages. As the weeks passed, the human hunt continued across multiple star systems. Every group of fleeing Korthaks was followed by human ships that never gave up and never stopped chasing. Some alien groups surrendered quickly when they realized they could not escape. Others tried to fight and were destroyed. The galaxy watched in amazement. No species had ever conducted a hunt like this before. Most space wars were fought in one big battle, and then the survivors went home. But humans did not stop after winning the first battle. They chased down every single enemy ship until the threat was completely eliminated. Other alien species began to understand something important about humans. When humans decided that something was a threat to innocent people, they did not just defeat that threat. They made sure it could never threaten anyone again. The Zephyrian Republic sent a message to Admiral Kim. "We are amazed by your persistence. How long will you continue this hunt?" Kim replied, "Until every Korthak ship that attacked innocent people has been captured or destroyed. Until every Velthron prisoner has been freed. Until the Korthak Empire understands that there are consequences for hurting peaceful people. And if they surrender? If they surrender and promise never to attack innocent people again, we will accept their surrender. If they break that promise, we will hunt them again." 6 months after the battle at Kepler, the last group of Korthak ships surrendered. They had been chased across 17 star systems by Commander Lim Jisu's Wolfpack squadron. When they finally gave up, the alien soldiers looked broken and defeated. "This is Commander Lim to Admiral Kim," she reported. "We have the surrender of the last Korthak battle group. All enemy forces have been captured or destroyed. Well done, Commander. Bring them home." Back at Kepler, the Velthron people were rebuilding their world with human help. The underground prisons had been turned into museums so that future generations would remember what had happened and make sure it never happened again. Dr. Park Ji-woo, the scientist from the Confederation ship, came down to the planet to study how humans and Velthrons were working together. What she saw surprised her. "Admiral Kim," she said, "I have been watching your people work with the Velthrons. You are not acting like conquerors." "Because we are not conquerors," Kim replied. "We are protectors. But you have completely defeated the Korthak Empire. You could take over their territory. You could make them your slaves. You could rule this part of the galaxy." Kim looked at her with surprise. "Why would we want to do that?" "Because that is what powerful species do. They conquer weaker species. Doctor, we did not come here to gain power. We came here because innocent people asked for help. Now that they are safe, our job is done." Dr. Park Ji-woo thought about this. "So you will just go home?" "We will go home and wait for the next distress call." "You think there will be another one?" Admiral Kim looked up at the stars. "Doctor, the galaxy is a big place. There are always bullies who want to hurt innocent people. And now, Everyone knows that if they send a distress call to Earth, humans will answer. Even if it means more fighting, especially if it means more fighting. That is what protectors do. Dr. Park Ji-woo understood now why the other aliens were so afraid of humans. It was not because humans loved violence. 1 year after the Battle of Kepler, War Commander Thex Mol sat in a prison cell on a human ship. The cell was clean and comfortable, with books to read and good food to eat. It was better than many of the homes he had destroyed during his years of conquest. He had been thinking for months about what had happened. His mighty empire, which had conquered 1,000 worlds over 500 years, had been completely defeated by humans in just 6 months. Now the Korthak Empire was broken, and their surviving leaders were begging for peace. Today, Admiral Kim was coming to talk with him. Thex Mol was curious about this human who had destroyed everything he had built. The door opened, and Admiral Kim walked in. He was smaller than Thex Mol, and he looked older than he had during the battle, but his eyes were still calm and confident. "War Commander," Kim said, sitting down across from him, "how are they treating you?" "Better than I treated my prisoners," Thex Mol admitted. "Why?" "Because treating prisoners well is the right thing to do." Thex Mol leaned forward. "I have been thinking about our battle for months. There is something I need to understand. How did you defeat us so easily? We had more ships, more weapons, more experience. We should have won." Kim was quiet for a moment, thinking about how to explain. "War Commander, tell me about your home world. What is it like?" "It is a beautiful place. Warm sunshine, gentle rains, peaceful animals. The weather is always nice. The land is fertile. Life is easy there." "That explains everything," Kim said. "I do not understand. Your people evolved on a gentle world where life was easy. You became strong by conquering others, not by surviving hardship. But humans evolved on a world that tried to kill us every single day." Kim stood up and walked to the small window that showed the stars outside. "On Earth, we had ice ages that lasted for thousands of years. We had volcanoes that could cover the sky with ash. We had diseases that killed millions of people. We had storms that could destroy entire cities. We had predators that hunted us for food." Thex Mol listened carefully. "Every challenge made us stronger. Every threat taught us something new. We learned to work together because alone, we would die. We learned to make tools because without tools, we could not survive. We learned to fight because everything on our planet was fighting us. But you are just one species from one planet," Thex Mol said. "One species that survived 4 million years of hardship, one planet that trained us to handle anything the universe could throw at us. When you attacked the Velthran people, you were not just fighting humans. You were fighting against 4 million years of evolution." Kim turned back to face Thex Mol. "But there is something else, something more important than our technology or our weapons." "What?" "We could not ignore the Velthran distress call because protecting innocent people is who we are. It is not just what we do. It is who we are. When we hear children crying for help, we have to respond. We cannot help ourselves." Thex Mol was quiet for a long time. Finally he spoke. "What will happen to me now?" "That depends on you. The Korthak Empire has officially surrendered. They have agreed to pay for the damage they caused and to never attack innocent people again. Most of your soldiers are being released and sent home." "And me?" "You were the leader. You made the decision to attack peaceful people. You will stay in prison for 20 years, but it will be a comfortable prison and you will be treated well." "Why, not just execute me?" Because humans do not kill prisoners. That is what makes us different from you. The door opened, and Ambassador An Suji entered. She was the human diplomat who had been negotiating with the galactic community for the past year. Admiral, I have good news. The Galactic Confederation has officially lifted the quarantine on Earth. We are now full members of the galactic community. Again, Kim smiled. How did the other species react to that? With respect and caution. They remember what happened to the Korthak Empire. No one wants to make humans angry. We are not angry people, Ambassador. I know that, sir. But they do not know that yet. They only know that humans can destroy entire empires in 6 months. Kim turned back to Thexmol. Do you understand now? We are not conquerors. We are protectors. But the galaxy will take time to learn the difference. After Kim and An Suji left, Thexmol sat alone in his cell and thought about everything he had learned. He began to write in a journal that the humans had given him. He wanted to record his thoughts about the species that had defeated him. Meanwhile, on the planet Kepler 442b, the Veltron people were celebrating the first anniversary of their liberation. The human soldiers who had stayed to help rebuild their world were honored guests at the celebration. Colonel Park Sung-jae stood with Velthran leader Naya Sunweaver as they watched children playing in the rebuilt city square. Many of these children had been prisoners in Korthak dungeons a year ago. Now they were laughing and playing as if the nightmare had never happened. Colonel, how can we ever thank you? Naya asked. You do not need to thank us, Park Sung-jae replied. Seeing these children happy and safe is thanks enough. But your people traveled so far to help us. You risked your lives for strangers. That is what friends do for each other. Are we friends? Of course. Anyone who asks humans for help becomes our friend. Back on Earth, Dr. Jung Minji was writing a report about the year since the Kepler incident. The changes had been enormous. Ships from dozens of alien species now came to Earth regularly. Some came to trade. Some came to learn. Some came to ask for help with their own problems. The most significant change, she wrote, is that Earth is no longer isolated. We have become the unofficial protectors of this region of the galaxy. When pirates attack merchant ships, the merchants call Earth for help. When tyrants threaten peaceful planets, those planets send distress calls to Earth. When natural disasters strike alien worlds, they ask humans to come and help with rescue operations. Admiral Kim read her report while sitting in his office under the Pacific Ocean. Through his window, he could see human ships coming and going, carrying diplomats and aid workers and sometimes soldiers to different parts of the galaxy. His communication officer, Bae Sung-ho, brought him the daily reports. Sir, we received 3 distress calls today. Pirates are attacking trade ships near the Centauri system. A disease is spreading on Proxima 7 and they need medical help. And there are reports of slave traders operating near the Outer Rim. Kim sighed. How many ships do we have available? 12 medical ships for the disease outbreak, 20 patrol ships for the pirate problem. And Captain Han is taking a full battle group to deal with the slave traders. Good. What about the diplomatic situation? Ambassador An reports that the Rigelian Republic wants to sign a mutual defense treaty with Earth. The Andromedan Council is asking if we will help them establish a new planetary government. And the Tau Ceti Federation wants to know if we will train their security forces. Kim smiled. A year ago, no one wanted to talk to humans. Now everyone wants to be our friend. That good or bad, sir? It is good if we can help them build a better galaxy. It is bad if they expect us to solve all their problems for them. That evening, Kim walked outside to look at the stars. The Pacific Ocean was calm and the sky was clear. Somewhere up there, human ships were protecting trade routes and delivering medical supplies and stopping bad people from hurting good people. Captain Han called him on his personal communicator. "Sir, we found the slave traders. They had over 2,000 prisoners from 6 different species. We are freeing them now." "Any resistance?" "Not much. When they saw our ships coming, most of them surrendered immediately. I think word has gotten around about what happens to people who hurt innocent civilians." "Good. Bring the prisoners home and make sure they get medical care." Kim ended the call and continued looking at the stars. He thought about Thexmol's question. How had humans become so powerful so quickly? The answer was simple. Humans had not become powerful by conquering others. They had become powerful by protecting others. Every species they helped became an ally. Every bully they defeated made the galaxy a little bit safer. Every distress call they answered made them stronger friends in the galactic community. Dr. Park Ji-woo, the scientist from the Confederation ship, had published her research about human evolution. Her paper was called Survival Protocols of a Persistent Species, and it was now required reading at every galactic military academy. In the paper, she explained why Earth was classified as a Class 12 death world, the highest rating ever given to any planet. She described how humans had evolved to handle extreme conditions. She explained why human technology was so effective and why human tactics were so successful. But the most important part of her paper was the conclusion. Humans are not just survivors. They are protectors. Their evolution has made them nearly impossible to defeat when they are defending something they care about. They do not fight for conquest or glory. They fight to protect innocent life. This makes them the most dangerous enemies that bullies can face, and the most valuable allies that peaceful species can have. Captain Lee Hyun-woo, who had originally received the Velthron distress call, was now working with human diplomats to establish communication protocols between Earth and the rest of the galaxy. He often thought about that day when Kang Minho had first played the recording of crying children.